No sound. Hey. Uh-oh. Hold up. Give me a second. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Oh, you can hear me now? Are we good? Are we live? Can we hear? Give me some. That hurt my feelings. And I don't mean about y'all. I mean, I need to know that. That's why I always ask y'all. Can y'all hear me? Does my mic sound nice? Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check one. we got we got Halima. We got Danny Owens in the building. Can we hear? I got some thumbs up. I got some thumbs up for leaving. Miss Juby60 in the house, in the building. I'm just talking. That's one of my worst fears. Like that's what I be asking y'all. Can y'all hear me? I need y'all to hear me because I know that can happen. Pink and Cream, AWA1 from day one. You know, so I don't even know what y'all heard and what y'all didn't. Y'all might have heard nothing. As I said, this was a impromptu live. I'm glad that y'all could join me because I just put it together. I said from the beginning, I was like, well, I gotta do a review on Put a Ring on It. I gotta do a review on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's just put it together. And I hope everybody had an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. It always goes by so fast, back to work, it always go by so fast. So I just said, let me put something together so I don't get so behind and get the product out there. So y'all know I usually wait for about what we talking about. I don't even see my time at. I usually got my time tick on here, like the 10-minute marker. Before I start the live. I don't know what's going on. I hope everything. Oh, there you go. I see my time ticker. I see my time ticker. And as I always said, not that I don't appreciate each and every one of y'all, because y'all know I do, because I know each and every one of y'all as soon as I see you come through. But I always, always, always got to give a special shout out to the YouTube content creators. Why? Because guess what? They got work to do. They got real life work to do. They got YouTube work to do. So anytime they take time to come out and see me, support me, hey, I gotta send a special shout out. Tammy Talks. Like I said, y'all know Tammy Talks, but for those who may not have know, has an excellent YouTube channel, one of the hardest working YouTube persons on YouTube. So always check Tammy out. You will absolutely enjoy. You will absolutely, you'll get into a comment. Tammy is absolutely one of a kind. So again, let me get back to everybody else. But like I said, I appreciate everybody just coming through and taking their time with me. So as I said, yeah, we're gonna do Put a Ring on It and Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think I'm gonna lean towards Put a Ring on It. Put it out and kind of knock that out first, because I guess since it came on Friday, maybe it's the first one up. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking. You know, because we don't want to get too far. What Danny Owens say? We appreciate this, J-Dub. Nice surprise. We're always ready for a good chuckle, and you will deliver. I hope so. I hope it come through. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little under weather with allergies. Let me take a sip. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I didn't want my reviews to get too behind. I want to put some product out because I want to make an excuse like, well, it got behind and I just didn't do it. It's time to be more consistent because the support from y'all is always consistent. So, you know, I got to do what I got to do. And I wear every single chain, even when I'm in the house, especially when I'm in the house. There go my auntie Rhoa for, hey nephew, I'm ready for the real tea because I know you're gonna be bringing it. I show him I'm gonna be bringing it. What we got? Miss Golden T40 ready to get my laugh on me. I don't think I'm funny. I think y'all funny than me. When y'all get into them comments, and there's some of y'all who got like world famous comments, when you I can't, like I said, I think y'all to start a show. I mean it. That's why I be like, put down those comments because I keep saying that I am going to do it. I guess I'm gonna wait for just a regular video where I get like a lot of comments. When I say a lot of comments, I'm thinking like over 100 comments or so, and then I'm gonna bring out the comments that stick out to me, and we're gonna talk about them for a minute, discuss it. Like I said, I got that idea from Rodney the Voice, and I think it's a great idea. Why? Because this channel is all about the comments, so I think that would be a great segment. And let me say hello to Anissa from Brooklyn. Always appreciate you when I see you in the house. Me, hilarious, me, little old me. Thank you, I appreciate you. So yeah, like I said, it's all about the comments. So we definitely gonna get into that segment real soon about just talking about the comments, because sometimes these comments be so good, so funny, and sometimes so thought provocative. Just skimming over them, it don't just do them justice. So we're gonna definitely get into that. We're definitely going to get in there. So we got about 3 more minutes before we really get started, really get on this thing, you know. And I guess I was thinking also too, something was coming to my mind. I was like, well, what I'm gonna do for Friday? Because I was like, I'm not watching that Married at First Sight. It ain't a reunion. I don't know. I might have to. I don't know. But I said I wasn't because it feels so stretched out, and they trying to drag us on to the next season. What they think we're gonna forget about Married at First Sight. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we don't want 2 hours worth of content, if you could call it that. Putting what are we putting together the show, then we got to put little Rudy show on 30 minutes after, and then we got to love her husband too and all that. It gets a bit much sometimes. Can I get a break? It's like Ready to Love. That's how I get to. But Ready to Love been off for a while, and I'm kind of glad. But even though I like Ready to Love, but if you ask me, all these shows are sliding downhill. I'm telling you. I'm I'm looking for better. I feel like we deserve better because we put a lot of man hour, woman hours into these shows, and we need better. We've seen better, so I know we can get better. What Pink and Cream say? Chains are hitting your trademark, Jay. Yeah, it feels good. That's why I keep doing it. It feels good. Sunshine and flowers. Hey, J Dub and everyone. Sunshine and flowers. Hey, sunshine and flowers. Good to see you all as always. As always. So where we at? Where we at? Where are we at? We got a couple of more minutes. Couple of more minutes. Uh-oh. See, and I gotta listen to wisdom. Tammy Talk say Netflix shows are where it's at. I know I really, 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 you know when I say I really mean, so I keep repeating. I'm really mad that I did not get on the Love is Blind wave. Why? Because I really enjoy Love is Blind, and it was a mess. And I saw like people was on Love is Blind real hard, you know. So it's almost for me because I'm an energy person. It got to be a vibe. I got to feel it. I know this is what do you call it? It's a business. It's it's for the people. It ain't for me because I can just be on the comments just like y'all. That's where I know most of y'all from. I could be in the comments, but I gotta kind of feel a show. I gotta feel good because like the stuff they got out right now, I'm not loving it. I'm like, ooh, let me go watch Summer House or whatever this shit whatever that is. Or ooh, let me go watch Young, Rich and African. I mean, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I want to feel it. I want something to watch, but I don't feel that stuff. You gotta really bring it for me to really get in there. Like, yeah, because even with Bell Collective, I haven't watched this what do you call it? This new season. First season was but something I lost the feeling. Maybe I should give it another try. I don't know, but I gotta feel a show because I'm not gonna come on the screen authentic. I'm gonna be like, so then next Tisha said that's what it's gonna feel like to me. I'm gonna just be straight reading. I'm not gonna, my heart's gotta be in it. Let me see what Tammy talks like I say, it's words of wisdom. Tammy even knows what she's talking about. She got the experience. Some else is good though. You would want to know a show is good, not unless you actually watch it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so all right, we are at the 10-minute mark, so we might as well get started. What's up, Tina Bree? I'm glad to see you in the house. I'm glad to see that you're in the house. So let's get started. What we gonna start with? What I say we was gonna start with? We're gonna start with it. Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Now, we'll put a ring on it for me. I try to forget. I try to move beyond the past. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, but this is just me. This is me. I miss Dr. Nicole, if that's okay to say. I want to let her go. I don't want to live in the past. I want to move forward. I want to accept what's happening right now, but I miss Dr. Nicole. Why y'all say that? Dr. Stacy, all right, but to me, she's like, she wants to be the show. And in a sense, to me, if you're a doctor, you're really supposed to be about helping people, assisting people, making people well, whatever your job is to do, whatever your degree has designed for you to do. That's what should be your focus, not that you can wear the Balenciagas and the Versace and you got a different pair of red bottoms every day. You got the cleavage all out. You know, that could be distracting, especially in a couples counseling. You know, your significant other could be over there looking like Dr. Stacy, you know, because she the show. And yeah, it's a thing for me because I don't know if your doctor, whatever kind of doctor you have, whether you got a what do you call it? Any kind of doctor. If your doctor coming in wearing these chains in the whatever waiting room or whatever y'all got going, you be looking like, that's a different impression. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not dogging her. I'm just saying I kind of miss Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole gives me the motherly, auntie, nurturing, Claire Huxtable vibe. And I like that. I like that. I want, you know, how people we kind of do discriminate against people. Not that people aren't qualified, but like if you see somebody like younger than you trying to tell you something about life or how you should handle your relationship, most people are going to look at them sideways like, what you gonna tell me? Or like, well, you on some other stuff. Let me send a shout out to my brother Harold Cordero. What's good, J-Dub? Good evening, everybody on the chat. Like my man Harold, I'm glad you made the live. It's very good to see you. I appreciate you. So yeah, that's just my opinion on Dr. Stacy. Not saying that she bad. She kind of funny sometimes. Let me read this. I gotta read this. Sunshine and Flowers gonna come with it. Cause she from around the way. JW, you are still been a Dr. Cole has moved on and been escorted out. Get over it, man. Do I have to? It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. It's hard. Okay, I'm trying. So I gotta get over it. Sunshine Flowers say get over it. I gotta get over it. Erica Griffin says, hi, everyone. I like Dr. Stacy, but she is extra, though. It's good to see you, Erica Griffin. I'm glad you came through. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do my best because it's done. You can't live in the past. You got to move on. And yeah, you got to move on. Well, let's see what Auntie Rhoa had to say. She said, I wasn't a big fan of Dr. Cole, but I agree with you about Dr. Stacy. Yeah, everybody wasn't a fan of the great Dr. Nicole. You know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna do my best to let her go, leave her in the past. She's done that. If she want to come back, I'll be glad to see her. That's what I'm gonna say. So let's go ahead and start with the reunion. As far as reunion go, I don't know if Egypt Sherrod has some type of 360 contract with all the hosting gigs or whatever. I like Egypt Sherrod, but I like to see a different mix with people. I don't want to keep seeing the same person do the same thing because you get kind of getting the same results. Even though I felt Egypt Sherrod kind of brought it this reunion because she definitely checked the person who needed to be checked. And yeah, but do I want to see Egypt Sherrod on every channel, on every hosting gig? Can't we get some other people going? I don't know. You know, tell me what y'all think about Egypt Sherrod. Like I said, I like her personality. I like that she has her own show with her husband and all that. She do the housing thing, radio thing, but I don't know. Okay. But so as far as like all the couples, you know, they come back with the exception of Dunbar and Chance. And you know, I don't even believe that Dunbar and Chance should be a part of the show anymore. Why? Because they actually quit. Dr. Stacy was trying to help them. They needed a whole lot of help and they refused. And I know why. They didn't want they didn't want to become, I guess, their little sick, toxic, twisted thing uncovered. So I get that. They want to stay in, they want to stay where they at. They want to stay where they at. But as I said, they mentioned they mentioned Chance and Drew, but I don't ever have to see them again. It's just the fact that matter. I'm gonna include this show and a whole lot of shows. To me, these shows are going out of their way to seek the most messed up person who's dealing with childhood trauma, anger issues. Same way with going with Chance and Dunbar. With Dunbar, he's dealing with depression and anger and anxiety. Now, granted, there's a lot of people who deal with that stuff and they're living their regular life and trying to maintain. However, bringing them on this type of platform doesn't help the people that they interact with or even the people they see. And you're seeing people kind of like melt down and break down. All these situations are tough by itself. I would like to see, in my opinion, bring the most mental healthiest person that you can bring who has the intentions for your show. And like bringing people in there like Dunbar, that's good for drama, but that ain't good for life. It ain't good for the show. We don't need somebody to, I just don't want to hurt anybody anymore. Like, sir, that is not normal. Should we be worried? Is Chance okay? Is Dr. Stacy okay? You know, and I'm not talking about the tears or anything like that. You can be emotional, but like people are like melting down, breaking down. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see two people come together and just create a toxic gumbo. I don't want to see that. I want to see people try to make this thing work. That's what I want to see. Shout out to Monique King, the Queen. She said, I like Egypt this reunion more than ever. And actually I did like her. I thought she did a good job. This one, again, I just want to see somebody different. You know, it's like you're looking at the same people. I know there are many talented people out there. Can we see somebody else? Give me a chance. But no, I'm not a host for a show. But I'm just saying, somebody who really want to do it, you know? Somebody who wants to do it, you know? Look at D Quest. I see that big ass box of popcorn in the background busted over. It's not a box. They're buckets of popcorn, like, you know, like you hold so you can simulate like you're in the movies. You got to actually pop the corn. But that was funny. That is hilarious. Yeah, so where was I? I'm just saying, I don't want to see the people. I don't want to see people. I don't want to see the people all messed up and hurting and dying and thinking they can't go on and all that stuff. I want to see healthy people. So before I get started, can I say, you know, because I'm a detailed person, I'm gonna go too deep, but I thought overall, like everybody of the cast, their wardrobe was horrible. You know, the only person I thought who looked okay in it was Dr. Stacy. You know, we know Dr. Stacy is a stylist in her own right. We got it because people come to see Dr. Stacy, but it looked like everybody picked their clothing from a Las Vegas rack or something, like from the 1980s or something. It was like, it was bad. It was like bad. I'm like, does anybody see this but me? Does anybody see it? But let's just go ahead and get into the couples. Who we gonna start with? I don't even know if I'm spelling this right, but we're gonna put it up there in there. Joya and Jasha, America's favorite couple. Now, my opinion, I did not like, because they show the flashbacks. I didn't like how it evolved from Joya having deal breakers to just going with the flow. Every time I heard the word flow, I felt hypnotized. I felt Dr. Stacy put Joya under a trance with the word flow. Every time you hear the word flow, it's like a get out situation. Like it was some type of mind control. Because why? That was Jasha's basis on how to get Joya to do things his way. The flow. Just go with the flow. When you hear the word flow, you're under my mind control. And so now Joya has to ignore that she's 37 3/4, that she wants to have a baby. She wants to get married first. And now she needs to wipe all that clean, appreciate that beautiful man in front of you, and go with the flow. You know, it's a little one-sided. I think like I said before, my other reviews, I think Jasha has sent a sizable cash app to Dr. Stacy to go with the flow. You are now in the flow. You know, I swear, every time I hear that's like they got me too. Go with the flow. Believe what they have to say. Let me take another YouTube YouTube creator content break. Shade in the City. Y'all haven't heard me mention Shade in the City. I was actually on Shade in the City once before, and there's some upcoming YouTubers. It's Treese and Nails. I mean, when they got this, when you see their stuff, you wouldn't believe like, oh, they're new YouTubers. No, they got that thing going, and they have two opposites with Treese and Nails on their opinion on each shows, and they do all the shows. If you ask me, even from Power to what do you call it? Power, Real Housewives, Love and Marriage. Because y'all know I don't do none of that. But check Shade in the City out. I can call them new YouTubers, but when you see their content, their setup, you know, Shade in the City need to give me some content classes because they got their stuff together and I enjoy their personalities. So do me a favor, check them out when you get a chance, and you know, you won't be disappointed. Definitely want to do that. So back to the regularly scheduled program. Um, Let me see what something I wanted to grab with. Lovely says, flow sounds like I don't want to commit. You're absolutely correct, because it went deeper than that. Within the season, Jasha is pushing the narrative that we're just going to go, we're going to go with the flow and just let life carry us. You know, we 40 years old, but we're going to let life carry us. You know, and that's the thing where, again, the man is trying to lead. And then this is what I don't like about Dr. Stacy. She even hit, I might be skipping ahead, but I got to say it now. Dr. Stacy hit you with like, I'm so proud of the men stepping up. This is what women want all the time. They want a man that leads them. When you're talking about the flow, the man ain't leading you nowhere. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. You got a timetable. You got a clock ticking and critical. But life doesn't work like that. Let's just flow. Just flow with me. Let's just enjoy. Live in the moment. Enjoy right now. Live in the moment. Jay should have been saying what he wanted. All you gotta do is listen to what people tell you. What he say? The man say, "Hey, I want to keep go ahead and doing these international trips or whatever. I ain't really trying to have no baby or nothing like that, especially in getting married. We just got to wait and see. We got to wait and see. Let's flow. You know, I get hypnotized every time I hear the word flow. You know, like I said, it's something. But like I said, Joya's once has gone out the window, and it doesn't. That's to me. That's unbalanced in a relationship. Granted, yes, one person's wants don't always take the forefront of the relationship, but there should be some balance. There should be some compromise. Or more example, let me put it like this. Wherever you're at in life, if you have some goals to reach, you need to align yourself with somebody you connect and share some of those same goals, not just flow, because they could be flowing somewhere else where you don't want to go. And they telling you, hey, I don't have no destination. Let's just see what happens. I mean, it just sounds exhausting to even say. So, like, listen, I said it before. The best laid plans are subject to fail. What do you think is going to happen when you don't have any plans? It's not going to be good. Just flow. Get your crystals out. Let's flow. I'm going to stop saying it because I'm getting mad at the word. But okay, now, hey, Joy is under the spell of Jasha and Dr. Stacy. So be it. What can I do? I can't save her. She want to be in there. Love Rika. Hey, good to see you. V Smith in the house. All right. Did I already put lovely up, but I just gotta say hello formally, you know. So yeah, So yeah, we just this flow thing. Look at that, lovely. Yes, lovely. Flow is a young person term. Yes, we're in this relationship. We're not gonna live by this any standards. We're gonna flow and vibe. We'll let the waves carry us wherever. Some of that foolishness. You know, some of that old foolishness. Joy ain't never get no baby. No, no, no. The flow said, they said, we gonna be working on a baby real soon. Real soon, okay. Real soon, give me 5 years, 7 years from now. Okay, the flow. But like I said, if Joy is still under that spell, what can I do? I can't save her. Dr. Stacy took the payoff from Jasha. What can I do? What can I do? But we saw like the flashbacks of like their dates, and something that I always wanted to see. I wanted to see Jasha witness how flirty Joya was on her dates. Because Joya was the one, we need to set boundaries and we need to do this. I don't want you to do this. Joya was jumping out there, and Jasha looked visibly bothered by it. And I don't know if I can really give Jasha a real read. I don't know if he's doing it for the cameras. He's that person that kind of keeps things inside, or he's very private. I don't know, but I would have been bothered too by what I saw, because Joy was jumping all the way out there, and it was necessary. She was like, "Oh, I'm just having fun, enjoying my dates." Okay, if that's what you call it. And we did see Jasha. He had a real flirty date, and Joy. I forgot Joya's date name. Joy. I forgot Jasha's date name. Joya called her Big Booty Judy, and she was like in her feelings about like what's going on, like why Jasha didn't give her another date, because she like, well, it seems like it was really because of Joy or whatever. Like he don't make his own decision, and Jasha thinks he's putting some authority, putting his hand up. He did that the whole reunion. Brittany, okay, there you go. Shady, her name was Brittany. Yeah, I like Brittany. I liked, other than she do her little dances every time she talk. That's a little extra and a little irritating to me, my person. But I like Brittany. True, I thought she was authentic. I thought she had a nice vibe. I thought she was open. I thought she was fun. I liked all that with Brittany. But I think Jasha liked it too. It's just that he knew he was on camera. He knew really he was going to be with Joy in the end, so he couldn't take it too far. But Brittany wanted closure, and I say that, in generally speaking, a lot of women do. Women want that closure. You got to tell me something. You just can't cut me off and not tell me something. But she asked for the closure, and then she was like, she wasn't tripping off the closure. She was tripping. Like, I don't understand. I think it was Joy's doing it. It wasn't him or whatever. And Joy like, oh no, he does what he wants to do. He does it. He like, oh yeah, I do what I want. I just, you did a little extra. You did. She is extra, but Jasha tried to act like he was offended by, I guess, she bouncing in front of Joy or whatever on the date. But I don't know. But I'm gonna say it didn't get better from here, because it's like once Brittany kind of jumped on Jasha about like being a man of his own decisions, if you will. Mr. Steal Your Girl is up there. Who is that? Your boy Jacoby. Mr. Maybach. He up there, and he really got into the business. He kind of like, I thought he was gonna kind of clean up what he said before, because again, I said it before. I kind of got his point, but I hated his delivery. I got what he was saying, but he just made it worse if you ask me. And same way Jacoby jumped on the bandwagon. He said that Jasha, you could tell he could pick up the vibe that Jasha is taking care of the household, speaking of Joya and her son, but he don't make the decisions in the household. And I know some people would see like Jasha checking Jacoby. I didn't see that. He was like, excuse me, young man, you're younger than me, and you don't know what it is to take care of household. Have you taken care of a family? Have you taken care of family or whatever, sir? So don't talk to me, sir. He don't talk to me, sir. I mean, Jacoby went deep on him. He was like, yeah, you got the maturity, but you don't got the authority. I'm like, damn, he robbing on him. You got the responsibility, but you ain't got the authority. I was like, damn. I was like, oh my goodness. Jason, you think you did something. You ain't did nothing. He sunned you. He broke you down. He made you look like what it was. And that was too bad. But as I said, Jacoby still put his foot in his mouth and just talking about really, which didn't make sense in the sense of that he's dogging single mothers, but like Egypt had to break it down. It's like, damn, didn't you just say you the product of a single mother? So she should have asked, did your mother deserve a quality, high value man with a Maybach and 7 figures or whatever the case? I mean, that's something to be said. So because whatever the case may be, you had a child, and whatever the reason the relationship didn't work, or you had a child on your own, so your mother isn't worthy of being with someone as a high quality man, and then broke it down to like, look, what you think make a high quality man? Your car, that big Maybach limo, or because you make 7 figures? She's like, nah, that don't make you a quality man. But you know what? That might be an argument, because we got a thing where we're going on the Ebony K. Williams vibe. Ebony K. Williams say that make a high quality man, a high value man. I hate to go back into that, but that's a thing, because most people know who've been in real relationships or know what matters in relationships. That money stuff, money only handles money issues. Money don't give you a solid relationship, somebody you could trust, somebody you can depend on, somebody who can love you, and all that kind of stuff. For those who know, who've had it, who've done, it only take care of money situations, not relationships. There go my friend Lenny J. I'm so glad you said. I'm always glad when you make a live. It's always better. Okay, and shout out to MT69. Jacoby is an idiot with issues. Yes, he hates his single mama. He hates the way he grew up. He hates the way his daddy didn't pick him up in a Maybach. He hate all of that. He hate himself. So he gonna down all single black women and say, like, y'all are the throwaways, or y'all are just fun girls and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd for him to say. He should know better than that. That's your issue. That's your issue. So don't project it on other people. Yeah, granted, you go out and make yourself successful and all that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, but that won't make you a good husband. That doesn't make you a good person. You're doing well for yourself. But again, that's what I said. Some Ebony K. Williams supporters may say, nah, Jacoby's the man. He's the high value man. He driving a Maybach limo. He doing 7 figures. That's all that matters. To each his own. To each his own. If that's what you need in your life, or that's what matters, to each his own. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna be like Jacoby and keep beating a dead horse. So yeah, like him doubling down, that didn't really help. That didn't really help at all. But again, let me bring a point to Jacoby. It is he Jacoby tried to defend himself, and he tried to defend his point so much he was going all the way to the left. He was speaking of double standards, and again, about this channel, I say what I say. So he was right. There are some double standards in the world. The world is unbalanced. But yes, a person we could talk about, like you said, you bring a fat guy up here and you call him fat. You call a woman, oh, she's we got to stay body positive about her. Yes, we don't call a thing a thing. We don't. I get that. I get that part. And I'm gonna go like Jacoby. I'm gonna go all over the place. When I was saying in the beginning about we don't want to bring people who have unhealthy characteristics and attitudes, it's almost like we're bringing the days of old to the new. And when I say that, where people are blatantly honest, brutally honest, but now we live in a very sensitive society, they can't coexist. Because in real life, back in the day, you could say what you want, but borderline, especially in people's families, there was an abusive environment verbally going on. Like, that's what kind of people get their characteristics from, because they're used to people talking to them like real crazy. And we don't want that. We want to be able to have healthy conversations and people who are emotionally intelligent, not people who dealing with childhood trauma and anxiety and depression, and you in my space putting that depression and anxiety on me. No, I don't want it. We definitely going to talk about that some more. But yeah, I mean, Egypt checked them. And I like that. Somebody had to do it because Jasha damn sure couldn't do it. Jasha got checked. So somebody had to do it. And even Egypt was clowning for at a minute because she was like, are you still single, right? Yeah, I knew you were. Like, she was clowning. Like, nobody really wants to deal with you. You think you can run around and play with these women because you got the Maybach and you got the 7 figures. In real life, you're not a quality person in real life. You are going to be single. And if you get somebody, it's not going to be of quality. So yeah, that was that with the Jasha and Joya section. They really didn't leave space for Luther, the guy that really charmed Joya with the flamingo painting, with the flamingo, with the New York Yankee sign, and in her favorite color. Maybe they didn't want to touch that because she almost like fell in love with that painting. And to me, Luther saved their relationship, if there was such a thing. He brought to the front that Jasha really wasn't speaking Joya's love language throughout the process. I mean, throughout their relationship, because again, and I got to point out again, because we're never going to get to talk about it again. I go back. I love the way Joya broke it down. Like, hey, gifts is a part of my love language. You think you buying me a trip to Dubai for both of us is giving me something? No, I want something for myself. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Take the time, pay attention to me, see what I like, and present it to me. Like I said, when you're not speaking your partner's love language, you're in the wrong space, because you can do all that you want. No matter what you want. If they don't feel that that's the way they receive love, you're spinning your wheels. You're wasting your time. So yeah, they should have let Luther get a little bit more of that time. Jacoby was just trying to get his shine on. So let's go on. I think we done with that segment with the Joya and Jasha segment. Who we going to now? Let's go to Kat and Ricky. Kat and Ricky. Kat and Ricky. Now, Kat and Ricky have made put a ring on it history. And why I say that? Because they're the first couple to go against the premise of the show. The premise of the show is bring an existing couple on, allow them to date other people, and kind of see what they've been missing in their relationship to either make their relationship stronger or they go their separate ways. I gotta put this up. You mean Smokey and Ricky? Yeah, we're definitely gonna get to Smokey. Yeah, so they're not engaged, and they're still together. No, that's not what we're supposed to be on the show. He's supposed to either get engaged or go the other way. But hey, they stayed together. They need each other because they still have things to work on. Now, granted, I can respect that Ricky didn't just get married to get married, because that's going to be a disaster. You have to respect that. What I don't respect is, but learning from Kat, is that he promised all these things for her to relocate to come to him, but he didn't deliver. Now, that's a problem. We don't have much in this world but our word. Now, you give your word to this lady. She didn't relocate it. And now you're like, I'm not so sure now. That can be a little tough, especially knowing that when they keep looking at each other. I don't like when people look at each other. To me, they lying. Like, should we say this? They look at each other like, Kat's only been there for a couple of months, and now she is like the living indentured servant, where she got to take care of the whole household, take Ricky's son to practice. And I keep hearing this word. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm the only one. I keep hearing this term thrown around because I keep hearing kids when referring to Ricky and his ex-wife. Does Ricky ex-wife have other kids who Ricky is considered his kid as well, or what? I'm like, I keep hearing the word kids because I do hear that they only have one son. So Why do we keep hearing the term kids? I just had to point that out because that little stuff like that kind of annoys me. But as we can see, Kat is she's struggling. She is struggling. I can't say that Ricky's perfect, but I can say Kat is struggling with, like, every time she speaks about her behavior or attitude of Smokey, she starts crying. And to me, that only shows one side of healed trauma, unhealed trauma. I say healed. Yeah, she's suffering about something. And we learned that she has watched her mother treat her stepfather the way that Smokey treats Ricky. And just keep saying Smokey. The fact that if I'm with somebody and they keep deferring to an alter ego, that's a huge flaming red flag, big time. Because you have an outlet. You can be like, oh, Smokey did it. Or, oh, Jose's low-key did it. It wasn't me. After 3 drinks, low-key comes on. Or, you know, when you say a trigger word, here comes Smokey. No, Smokey and low-key need to go get that cleaned up. That's the issue. I'm only with one person. I'm not with Smokey. I'm not with low-key. Stop it. You know, cut it out. So, yeah, it's a thing. So we learned that it's some childhood trauma with Kat. She's watched her mother treat her stepfather like that. So she feels comfortable about that. She seems remorseful. Yes, she says, I don't want to be the person that damages Ricky and have him go into the next relationship needing repair and healing from the way she treated him. But yeah, it's a thing. Who would want to get married to that? Who wants that? Like, knowingly, I gotta battle your inner demons right in front of me, and you naming your demon. Put that demon away, please. Go clean that up. We definitely ain't talking about no getting married, but yeah, they go to the date segment, and the dates are like a huge part of Kat and Ricky's situation. Like, you know, Ricky had Sheila. And guess what? Sheila is a little Bama, but I really like Sheila for Ricky. They flowed. Ricky and Sheila flowed. You know, they flowed together. I like them. They seem to have fun. It was lighthearted. They seem to be into each other. And guess what? In the beginning, I did like Marcus for Kat, but there is such a thing of, like, what they say, coming on too strong. Marcus ended up, to me, being like a love bomber. He came off like paid actor to stir up the put a ring on it season or whatever. Because it's like I said, Marcus coming to the door like, oh, you want a beauty salon? I already bought 2 for you in Dallas, 1 in Atlanta. You got $100,000 account right there ready for you to do. And guess what? It's too soon for us to move together. I bought you a house just for you to think where you want us to live at. And I just got you. I got you. Actually, you don't have to drive. You don't need a car. You'll be driven everywhere you go. And when you come out the car, you'll be coming out in a bed of roses, and you'll never have to walk. You'll be on a hoverboard. Everything is perfect. I got everything in line. It got your name on it, your picture, your signature for ownership. Mr. Love Bomber. Yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. But Marcus did not disappoint on the reunion. Marcus was ready to put a ring on it off the top. Off the top. He didn't have no box, but he was like, even Egypt clown. She's like, you better put your grandmother's ring away. He ready to give Kat a ring. Like, it ain't gonna take no 10 years. I'm ready to do it. I'm coming to get my baby. You know, and then not only that, Mr. Marcus, he gonna be the real one, aka Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's gonna be the one. He telling what is he? He telling all of Kat's business, if you will, or all what she told him about Ricky. And Ricky looking over to her like, yeah, Kat told me she lacking in the bedroom. You know, it ain't like that in the bedroom. He ain't doing nothing like that. And they don't have any intimacy and all of that. I'm like, wow. Like Marcus didn't come to play. He came to get his girl for real. He did everything he could, but it didn't work. Kat had the energy. Like, she seemed like she was kind of liking that Marcus was kind of like pining over her or whatever. But she knew she couldn't do it in front of Ricky. And Ricky, like, well, Egypt, like, dog, this man is talking about he ready to take your girl up off the stage and everything. Told me your bedroom game is whack. You ain't about nothing. You still live with your mama and you trying to marry her. What's up? He like, well, I just don't, I don't let that. I've heard worse. People said worse things about me, Egypt. Like, wow, yeah, granted, you ain't supposed to let people get you out of your character or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Does Ricky have social anxiety? I don't know, but yeah, that was pretty rough. So Ricky had nothing. So Kat is standing by her man. Kat had to smoke for Sheila or whatever time. Let the men talk and all that. In the same mouth, Ricky can speak up. He's his own man, and he can open the mouth, the same mouth you put the fish in. I'm like, oh Lord, you just let the lady know you are so bothered by her. And like I said, I think they both should have just left each other to go with the other person just to see what happened. Shoot, they couldn't do no worse or whatever. Sometimes you can do bad by yourself, so they should just left. But you know what I didn't like? I peeped that Ricky's ex-wife claimed that they're such great friends, but she was instigating like a little bit to me. She's like, ooh, like little snickers and stuff like that. Like, oh, damn. Like she had something to say, but she didn't really want to tell it. And the issue with Ricky's ex-wife, Kat, feels like their boundaries weren't crossed. And, people look at it two different ways. Like, really, Kat is coming into Ricky and his ex-wife situation of raising their child. And yes, they're putting their child first. They putting their child first so much that they having sleepovers and all kind of stuff. Like Ricky didn't have a ride. Like his ex-wife had to come pick him up to watch him for the kids they keep talking about. And that would be an issue for most people. Like, damn that, like, okay, we taking this putting the kids first kind of far. And that's why it is a thing that people should vet the process of thinking about people who have children, because everybody's system operates a little differently. Some people think that sleepovers are normal. Some people say, I'm really putting my kid first. They're always going to be first. You're going to always be at the bottom. Everybody don't want to sign up for that. So it is a thing for men and women to know that you got to tread lightly if you're going to be serious with someone who has children. You don't know their system. We know Ricky does not communicate. It's just a disaster. But Kat is loving it. Kat is standing by her man. She don't want to be saved. So I gotta let her do that. I gotta let her do that. So the thing is, I did like that Kat stood in it, was saying like, yeah, we got to talk about some of the things that's really be going on. Like, and then Egypt was like, yeah, well, are there still sleepovers? Like, no. But I'm sure there's some inappropriate behavior going on. They probably got to FaceTime each other at 11:39 at night on a Tuesday, to talk about the kids, But everybody, they got a different view. And like I said, you got to be ready for that. The kid stuff. You got to be ready. You have to be ready. So, like I said, I always call Marcus Kat's fiance, because he doing everything he got to do to be with that woman. At this point, it looks kind of phony. It looks like for show, but I don't know. I think Kat should have tried it. She should have tried it. So I don't think I can say no more about them. Let's move on to the final couple, who I don't really have much to say about. Who we got? We got Jazz and Zay, aka Low-Key. Like I said, I got a problem when you can defer to another person. It lacks accountability to me, in my opinion. So it was a thing. I want to know what y'all think. This is a real thing. Now, granted, they were put in an awkward position as couples to date other people. It's going to be something new. It's going to be something that everybody isn't used to, because nobody's openly like, oh, I'm with somebody, but I got a date coming over every other day or whatever, because I'm dating different people, or I can date the same person over and over again. Jasmine had brought up that she was like done with the process or with Zay because he complimented his date being pretty. Now, here's my opinion on it. Granted, I wouldn't think that if him saying his date is pretty, because guess what? He's on an allowed date, but maybe not say it in front of Jazz. We know Zay don't look like he can read the room or low key. But yeah, tell me what y'all think. Let me see some in the comments. Was that over the top? Was that a deal breaker? Like, he's like, oh, no disrespect to my lady, but you look pretty or whatever. I don't know. Aren't you allowing to date? D-Quest 77. I got to put this up because I hear Miss Misha voice. I like Jazz. She didn't give a damn. We don't give a damn. That kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it over the top. I did not see it over the top at all. I just saw it as something, a part of the process, if you will. That's what I saw. But let me go to something I saw. Let me highlight my auntie Rhoa for real. Loving your lives, and I appreciate you for loving my lives. I want to bring it. I want to bring the energy, and I appreciate your all-time support always. Thank you so much, Auntie Rhoa for real, for being real. Thank you so much. Yeah. Anissa from Brooklyn. What Anissa say? Zay was rude and insensitive. I thought, I was like, hey, maybe you should have did that in front of your lady. Was it a deal breaker? Y'all into this game of dating other people because it's it's a thing. Because we're not going to talk about him. I'm going to bring it up anyway. I had a problem in which I'm going to say a lot of women supported how Zay kind of went off on his date. Maybe went off is excessive, but I'm going to say went off on his date when his date referred to Jasmine as her. Like, oh, don't you be calling her. You better put some respect on my lady name. Like, I didn't think, maybe because I'm not a woman, I didn't pick up that the lady was being malicious or whatever. I'm like, when I think about him checking anybody, I always think about him checking his friend who said he would slap the shit out of Jasmine in front of him and in front of people. Like, after that, the police should have been called, and he should have never dealt with that friend again. Because if he don't respect your lady in front of you, he don't have no respect for you at all in any type of capacity. But okay, check your date who's coming in a positive vibe into you, liking you. I don't know what she like about you. She like the little pink alcohol burnt lip. I don't know what she like. She like that she could barely understand what you say. That Atlanta twang slang. I don't know. But if you want to check something, Zay, that's when it's time to check something. When one of your friends are talking about slapping the shit out your lady, that's when it's time to check somebody. But I like that. That's probably the first one I seen. Zay was wrong for being funky to us. That the lady meant no harm. I didn't think she meant no harm. She wasn't trying to shade Jasmine in that situation. Yeah. I gotta bring this up because this is a thing. Men are loyal to other men first versus their woman. Is that suspect? I guess it's the bros before hoes mentality. Not saying that women are hoes. That's the term that people use. That's the thing. And like in real life, not because most of my supporters happen to be women, but something I learned in life. If you're looking for the best friend you're probably gonna have, it will probably be the woman standing next to you. If she's in the right mind, right frame of mind, heart, and all that, you're not gonna find a better friend than your lady, your wife, your significant other. That's who's going to support you. That's who's going to be down for you. That's who's going to have your back. So that man loyalty thing, no. It's a no for me, dog. But yeah. It's just a thing more so with Jazz and Zay. Their dates weren't really significant. The only significant date I really saw was with Jasmine, because Zay was really blocking all his dates. But Jasmine had a great date with Josie Wells when they went ice skating because I really felt like I felt the connection, like it was real. I'm thinking like, I don't know, call me wrong, but I almost be wanting people to leave the other person for the for their new date. I know I'm wrong for thinking that. I know it's about making them better, staying together. I wanted her to leave um, low key for Josie Wells, but Josie Wells, you know why he was so emotionally intelligent? Because Josie Wells, some type of therapist or counselor or psychologist, so it makes sense. That's what he do for a living, so he probably could connect with anybody. But both of their dates, Josie Wells and Kenyatta, they felt like Zay and Jazz used them on the dates to get better, and I guess they did their homework, and that was a part of the process. But yeah, so they're going to stay together, and they're going to stay together. And as far as the update, you know, Ricky and Kat, they're still working on things in Ricky's parents' house. Joy and Jasha, they have announced that they are getting married in April, but it's April 24. They have not set a date as of yet. And low key and Jasmine actually planned the wedding on Valentine's Day and actually got married. So did anybody see that picture? It looked like Jasmine had the same dress she had on the reunion. And if she did, that's a problem. You know, that was a problem. That was a problem for me. You know, she didn't. I hope she didn't do that. Don't do that, Jasmine. You shouldn't have did that. But the wonderful Dr. Stacy, and I'm being facetious, I'm being sarcastic. You know, she just got so emotional. She's like Zay is a great man. He's so great, you know. And again, going back to what I said, how she's like, that's what all these women are looking for a man to lead them to the promised land. And like Zay ain't leading Jasmine nowhere. He just going along, and that's what he wanted to do. Jasmine played like she didn't want to get married. She's like, oh, I ain't tripping. Because I guess so many times somebody keep telling you, okay, I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna give you what you want. Yeah, you're not gonna want it like you want it. But the fact is, where's Dr. Stacy getting all this? Where's a man leading? Dr. Stacy, you took a payoff from Jasha to go with the flow. That's what happened. That's what happened. So you ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me. So yeah, that was the season. I'm kind of glad it's done. It's done, but do I need to see Dr. Stacy again? Not for me. I like her personality. As I said, I wouldn't, if I went to the doctor's office, I wouldn't want to see a doctor with gold chains on, or they cleavage out and everything, or they dressing way better than me. You know, like, are we here for a show or are we here for a checkup? That's just me. That's in my opinion. So let's go. We're gonna go on to the next. We're gonna let them go. We're gonna see what happens. And let's just move on to the next segment. And the next segment, y'all know what it is. We're moving to RHOA, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 15, episode 4. The buck stops in Birmingham. So, you know, I don't know. This one kind of blew me from what I was talking about. When I mean, like, how I was telling about, we have shows with, I'm speaking for the people. We need shows with people who are emotionally healthy. And this is a prime example. So I got to do like a baby small mini rant. Or let's just have a discussion. I don't want to call it a rant, but we got to talk about miserable Marlo before we go any further. We got to say something, because as I said, I started with put a ring on it and just saying, like, bring in people like Chance, or people who are, like, again, emotionally unstable, people who have unhealed trauma. it's not going to be a positive experience. And granted, it's a lot of people walking around like that. It's no judgment. I just don't believe that they should be brought on these types of platforms. I think it's like very negative. I think it's super negative. The fact that you bring somebody who can be triggered like that, or who just go off the deep end, or who acts their shoe size instead of their age. It's very unbecoming. And especially on shows like this. I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to put it out there. This is how I see it. This is how what it's supposed to be. Like the way Real Housewives of Atlanta started, it's supposed to be the upper echelon, the upper crust, the high class, high society of Atlanta. And it's so far from that. And it's like at this point, we are watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And that's the issue. When I come on this show, when I look for RHOA, I'm looking for opulence. I'm looking for Black excellence. I'm looking for luxury. I'm looking for let me bring this up when Tammy talks. It hasn't been that in years. I have to agree with you, Tammy. But guess what? I don't even blame production anymore. You know who I blame? I blame you. I blame me. I blame all of us that we put up with this type of stuff and we don't let these people know, because guess what? Just like my channel, just like any commercial, just like any production, they are nothing without the people's support. So they keep giving us this stuff and giving us this stuff. I want something better because we've received something better. Granted, I know reality show is scripted. Granted, I know when it comes down to it, it's about ratings. But guess what? A lot of people want solid content. They do. They do. They want solid content because we've seen that we can receive that. We don't have to just accept anything. That's not it. That's not it. Let me see, Ms. Bell. Let me bring this point up. It's time for Candy and Todd to have a spinoff of the two of them. Well, I'm gonna say they gave it to them, and I guess it didn't do what it was supposed to do. It was the OLG, Candy and the Gang, or whatever the case may be. I thought the show was all right. Do I think they can sustain one? I don't know. I thought the people liked it, but obviously Bravo didn't receive what it wanted to, because again, it's all about the numbers. If it did, it would still be on. And my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of Todd. That's just my opinion. I could do 10 minutes on Todd for real, but we're not here for that. But yeah, it's miserable Marlo. We're looking at a lady that's unhinged. We're looking at a lady who is bathing in her childhood trauma. We're looking at a lady who wants to inflict pain and misery onto others. And then just to bring the fact up in the show that this lady wants to possess a firearm, I'm afraid for the world. I believe Marlo would be the first person to pull out a firearm on reality television. We almost got that from Croy Bierman at the Real Housewives when Kim was on it, and people still want her back. I don't understand, but I know everybody's different. Everybody receives love different. Everybody wants to be entertained in a different way, but not me. Not me. So again, just it's like it ain't got to really be all about Marlo, but it is about Marlo because we talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta. I before was a fan of Marlo. I wanted to see Marlo win. I wanted to see her fly, excel, exceed. Marlo has failed the assignment. Maybe it's been too much time. I have a saying in these YouTube streets: Marlo's peach has spoiled. Maybe sometimes you take too long to come with to put the ring on it. After 10 years, the love ain't there no more. But Marlo, who is always who she's been, maybe she's just a friend of the show. I don't know, because in real life, Marlo ain't bringing it. So I'm gonna get off Marlo. Let me read that. Let me see what Miss Bell say. Marlo is too violent, in my opinion. She scared the mess out of Drew. Yeah, and that's crazy. That's the thing. Like, people see things differently. Some people say, "Oh, Marlo didn't get aggressive," because a lot of people believe that you can't call black women aggressive. Like, I don't believe in those double standards. A thing is a thing. But guess what? Some people say it's okay to you're not a robot. You can express your feelings. If you got to jump in your friend's face or look like you're gonna smack him, that's just all it was. Some people live and behave differently. So I'm gonna put that out there. So yeah, I'm gonna get off Marlo because she doesn't deserve that much attention. But however, to me, in my opinion, for somebody who was rooting for her, she is a huge disappointment, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get started with the review because it was definitely missing something. Tina Bree. I gotta say it. Tina Bree, does Marla have a peach? I'm pretty sure she was in that little peach segment or whatever. She holding out her peach. So when you in that peach little video, and you come in, you got a little line. I used to be a felon, but now I'm in the, some other stuff. If you got some of that going on, you definitely got a peach. But yeah, let me go back. So I'm gonna start it off. So the episode started off. It started off with Mrs. Bozak, aka Kenya Moore. I gotta mention that because the crazy thing, I watch so much Martin show. I always see Kenya Moore as Mrs. Bozak. And if y'all don't know Mrs. Bozak, y'all haven't seen the Mrs. Bozak episode, please go back and watch it if you enjoy Martin, because Martin hit Gina with the harshest backhanded compliment, whatever, when referring to Kenya, aka Mrs. Bozak. Now, my woman may not have all that fine body, and believe me, it is fine, but at least she keeps it real. At least she keeps it real. I love that. And I thought Kenya did a great job in it. And to take nothing away from her, but yeah, Moneta is showing Kenya. She's doing like supposed to be rehearsing for a little choreograph for a little thing that Kenya's supposed to be doing for HBU, like a magic class, like a big football game down south in Alabama. And the thing is, I didn't see them rehearse. I just saw Kenya dancing. She was just twirling. So it's like, for real, she got it going. I guess she already got the steps down because she was really trying to not have the same thing happen that had at BravoCon when she did her little song and she kind of failed. But I thought it was a good recovery. But the fact of the matter is, I didn't know Moneta was a professional choreographer. I didn't know what Moneta did. I thought she just tried to find wealthy men and have and get married. I didn't know. And to me, I'm not a Moneta fan, to make it clear. I don't think she brings anything. She brings the lifestyle of what I think Real Housewife is, because that's how we do it with our thing. The fancy houses, even though I never seen a house, if I can remember. The cars, the presidential Rolexes and the bags and all that. Moneta's always been that girl, even with Neo. Even though going in the backstory, yeah, I just didn't know what she did. But come to find out, she's a world-class choreographer. She didn't dance with Prince and some other people. She name dropped. I thought she was gonna name drop Neo, her baby daddy, but she didn't. But Tammy talks and she said, "Why assume that she's a gold digger?" I don't know. I feel you should never assume, but I feel safe in doing that. I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. That's what I think. That's what I believe. I believe she has that lifestyle. I believe she wants to maintain that, and I'm comfortable with that. So, yeah, I just didn't know that about Moneta, and I guess that's why we learned. Moneta is not a peach holder. She's a friend to the show. But to me, if we're going to get into the friends of the show, I want to get into their life a bit more, you know. I just don't want you just showing up just for the girls' trip or the dinners. I want more. But we see Monietta. She gets a call from Kenya's boyfriend. I thought it was weird, but they explained that that's her best friend, or whatever. And I just I didn't realize that Kenya and the guy was so serious, but she said that's her man. She got a 9.6 rating on Yelp. He's great in bed and all of that. I don't see the connection, but maybe we need to see them together. I don't know. But hey, whatever we got to do to get Kenya happy or in love, because Kenya said she's tired of waiting on her divorce to end, because people have like different opinions on that. And I guess you have to live your life in that situation where Kenya is dealing with a divorce that has lasted longer than her actual marriage, probably double the time that she's been married, because she's never even lived with her husband for real. And apparently he's holding up the divorce. I don't know if he's a gold digger. He wants some money off of Kenya. I don't know, but he's refusing to divorce. And Kenya's saying, like, at this point, I'm gonna live my life. And that's exactly what's happening. She living her life. She trying to be happy or whatever. So that was it for that scene. Let's go to Sonya. Sonya's at her house and she's having a staff meeting, aka her family, her sister, and her mother. And the conversation got really awkward. And like going in a backstory, I feel like almost an expert in this subject, because I used to faithfully watch Sonya's reality show, loved their reality show, loved Sonya on that reality show. But on this Housewives thing, I don't think she's a great fit. However, let's just go ahead and get into what's happening. Sonya had to kind of announce to everybody that it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. And what does that mean? Ross, her husband, wants it to be just the Rosses in the house. And everybody looked in shock. And I was in shock that everybody was shocked, because last episode or other episode, you let Sonya tell it, everybody's ready to go. I didn't see that on her mother or her sister's face, especially her sister's face. I feel a couple of ways about it. Now, granted, I hope Sonya is holding true if she promised her sister and mother that they could stay with them for a couple of years and not just kicking them out in 1 year and just having them go. But at the same time, because I know the backstory of the show, her family has been, I don't want to say a negative word, they have been benefiting from Sonya's success. It's like she is the show. And what you saw in this episode from Sonya's sister, which most people picked up, she has a very entitled attitude, and it actually was worse on her show. And then not only that, to go even a little deeper, Sonya's sister husband, I'm gonna tell you like this, was awful on Sonya's show. I was wondering whatever happened to him, because I know damn well her sister ain't married that guy. That guy, he's twice as less as what you think. I'm telling you. When I say not a high value man at all, I mean, this guy, he lacks character in real life. And I mean that. And not just because he's her assistant, but I mean, this guy's terrible. If you can find those episodes, go back and look, because he was awful on that show. Awful to her sister and their family. So her sister was like visibly offended, like, what's going on? Like, oh, let me get my troops and let's get up out of here. Like, she ready to get out now, saying like, oh, you putting us out? Because I don't really see it as like, oh, she forced them to move or whatever the case may be. They've been living off of her. However, they've been doing it, including the parents. So granted, yeah, it's a thing that to have people you can trust around, especially in business. However, it could be a problem. Like her sister said, the boundaries. Sometimes families don't have boundaries, or they're not going to operate in your business like they're a regular employee who's concerned about their job. They're going to take advantage. So that can be a good and a bad thing. So I'm with Ross. I think it's time. I think it's time because not only it appears that her family is codependent, I believe Sonya is codependent. And what I didn't like in the confessional, the sister and the mother was talking, and the sister described Sonya is she's not selfish, she's self-centered. Granted, they know her better than I do. I felt like the comment was like, what's the word can I say? It felt backstabbing. It felt like talking behind her back. Because to me, I think the situation, they benefit each other. All y'all working for her, the mother, the father, the sister, the brother-in-law, and living under the same roof. But yeah, she expect to leave her kid there when her husband's away, when she's away. Y'all benefiting for each other. But it's always going to be a thing. So I think it's time to move. I think it's time to break. But you can see Sonya doesn't want to do it either. So she put it out there, and she kind of threw Ross under the bus by putting it out there like that, because now it makes Ross the bad guy. She even had to tell her sister, or her mother had to tell, like, well, don't take it personal. It ain't personal. It ain't y'all. It's just the fact that the man want his own space, especially talking about having another baby or whatever the case may be. He wanna walk around in boxers and his shirt off or whatever in the house when he feel like it, or not having somebody always in the refrigerator when he go in the refrigerator. Who don't want their own life at that point, especially when you got the means? Why not? People who don't have the means want their own life, But now Ross is the bad guy. He's breaking up the family. Not Jamaican. I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing. They want to stay close knit and stay habitated together. I don't know, but it's definitely time for a break. And yeah, it's just her sister is just like totally interferes. Like, let me get the hell out of there. Like, I believe the sister went downstairs in the basement and packed up immediately. 100%. She is in her feelings, and she probably called her husband to do what came next. Her husband actually quit. Just like that, no notice, quit. And then we'll get into that part. But okay. Let's go to Monty Marlo. Now, is it me? Whether you're a Marlo fan or not, I think it's time to be able to see some other scenes than Marlo being a Monty. Is that her whole life? Is that all we can get? I thought Marlo lived this fabulous life that everybody should be envious of, and all I get is Monty scenes. I need more. I need more. If she is what we've all been waiting and missing, yeah, it's a thing. So can we do something more? People didn't beg for Marlo to be up here. Let me see what Tammy talks at. Marlo has fans. Yes, unfortunately, everybody in every show has some type of fan. Everybody gravitates towards a different personality, even dysfunctional ones. So Marlo absolutely has fans. Shout out to Dr. Ivy Pearl. You didn't miss it. You here? I'm so glad. I guess you didn't miss it because we're doing a review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just finished up. Put a ring on it. So yeah, I need something more. We gave Marlo a peach. The people gave Marlo a peach. We need something more. And Marlo continues to struggle to kind of find a storyline. Like, she's always on Candy, or she's always on Kenya. Like, somebody who's always judging or got something to say about somebody else, but you could be improving your thing. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. That's where the saying comes from. And at this point, now Marlo's on this kick where she feels like Candy has slighted her. She slighted her, not only because she's been around worldwide Candy, and Candy hasn't gotten her a lawyer to expunge her many past criminal felony charges from stabbing and stealing and all that kind of stuff. Even though, why would she need Candy for that? Is Candy her mama or her Muntie? I don't get it. But Marlo's going to find some fault with Candy. And she also finds fault with Candy in that she felt that Candy should have done more when her nephew got killed, who was a former employee of OLG. Because I read in the text that Candy said that, hey, when Marlo mentioned her nephew, oh, like, I'm sorry to hear about that. He used to work for OLG. So not only is Marlo disappointed in Candy, Marlo's family is disappointed in Candy. And I cannot imagine why. Like, what does Candy owe your family? And granted, people choose to show empathy or sympathy in the ways that they want. Now, me personally, the way Marlo has behaved towards Candy throughout these seasons or whatever, I don't care what happened. If Candy never reached out for nothing, I would be okay with that. But everybody's different. Sometimes when people have tragic losses, people can come together. To me, that's a personal choice. Marlo has talked about Candy, her sex life, her mama, her husband, her parenting, all those things. And you want Candy to help you. You want Candy to fix your life. You want Candy to be there for you and support. I think it's quite ridiculous. I think it's absurd. And now we got to bring Candy at fault. And now Marlo has a storyline where, like, I guess Candy's restaurants are so violent. People are getting shot all the time. The people shot her nephew and all that kind of stuff. And allegedly, I heard that the person that her nephew was roommating with that actually unalived him did not work for OLG. And her nephew didn't work for OLG for the time that he got unalived. So what's really going on? Marlo is trying to smear Candy's name. Like, we need to find out what's going on. We need to find out what's going on with Candy's restaurant and all that. Candy's restaurants, different restaurants, had 2 separate shootings. That's real. However, Marlo's intentions are pure evil. Bottom line, period, point blank. So, I mean, she just needs to cut it out. She needs to stop it. And then she got Courtney, Miss AKA I had a mini stroke last year, talking about, oh yeah, maybe it's Candy's culture. She's bringing ghetto people out and all that kind of stuff. It is so ridiculous. It is so counterproductive to what this show brings. You bring one of the benefits of reality TV is to kind of grow and expand what you got going on. You never had as many eyeballs on you. So what you got going on, you want it to blow up. You don't look at to have people defame your character, bring down your business, question your brand, all that kind of stuff. It's not really for that, but so many times it's like that. So that's that with miserable Marlo. We go to Sheree, and we got a doctor appointment about her fibroids. Do we need to go over that? I know a lot of women can appreciate that because it is a common situation with women of color. But I don't feel like I'm an expert in a space to do that. So we're going to skip that. Sheree is menopausal. She's not pregnant. And she's dealing with fibroids. Thank you, Miss Bell. Oh, thank you. Skip it. Do we need to go over? Yes, Sheree, we want to see more of you, but not in that way. Where's your children? Especially, where's your oldest daughter? Give us some updates on stuff like that. We like that kind of stuff. We want to see into your life. Is Martell and you a real thing? But we know that's not it. But let's keep going. Thank you, Miss Bell. Skip it. We see Sonya. She's having a photo shoot. And again, we've learned that she's lost 2 of her favorite employees in the same day. Her sister, who went out sick, and her brother-in-law who just up and quit. And that that is that what's that? That's a thing. I'm not surprised that her sister is sick and probably be sick for her next photo shoot as well. Her sister is she comes off very entitled. And yeah, and her brother-in-law just quit like that when she gave him a job, when he didn't have a job, when he's supposed to be in real estate. But that's our family do you. And Sonya's overwhelmed with the decision. She's feeling bad about it. She's feeling, it's like a lot on her back. And that's the thing. Also, it could come from, I'm an only child, so I don't know what it is. It can be a pressure thing where you feel like I made it. I got to put my family on to, I want everybody to be successful. But sometimes that type of pressure that you put on yourself could lead to your detriment. Who else I believe is like that, has a life like that? In my opinion, what I see, Toni Braxton. I feel like she had that pressure, that self-imposed pressure. Maybe it came from a family, but you put that pressure on yourself. Like guilt and pressure is like luggage. All you got to do is put it down. So if you choose to accept it, it'll steer your life in so many ways that you feel like I made it, so all my people got to make it. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Yes, my people can reap the benefits of what I'm doing. But in real life, whether I'm playing football or I'm singing or whatever I'm doing, let me hone on my craft for this limited time in most cases, and we can benefit from it. Not I gotta try to take care of my career, your career, and make all decisions that can guide me and railroad me and put me in all types of pressures that shouldn't be there. I think that's too much for anybody. But yeah, as I said, Sonya seems to be just overwhelmed with it and can't really relate, but I can imagine it would be a lot. So the ladies, they're meeting all up at Sheree's house, even though Kenya is hosting the girls' trip. Her driveway is pretty much a safety hazard. It's like a ski slope or whatever. So um as far as the trip, they're down two ladies. We got Drew, who's sick with influenza B, and she wanted to show us a doctor note to prove that she's sick. My opinion, she's probably having trouble at home, probably not in the right mindset to go. Candy's got something to do, busy and book. I believe that because, Candy is busy and book. We seen on the last episode, she had all this long list of things to do, including Todd's project at the bottom. So I could believe that one. So everybody looks comfortably chic going to the girls' trip, with the exception of I had a mini stroke, aka Courtney. She came in an Adidas sweatsuit. Courtney, you watched your show enough. You know you got to come and bring it. Maybe Courtney thought she was getting on an airplane or something. She didn't want to wear fabulous wear, but you got to dress the part. All the ladies were together. They looked like they was ready. It is a show. Let's get the uniform on. But this ain't the first time the uniform is going to, I guess, come up. But so I guess when they riding on the bus, they get a little bored. Maybe it's girl talk, because I don't know how it came up. They was talking about which of the ladies have eaten booty in their life. And it got kind of crazy. And Kenya had to Kenya had to confess. I guess Kenya had to kind of confess because Sheree put her out there, and Kenya was like, "Oh well, I did it in my 20s, so I guess it takes the sting off of it." Even though that's Kenya business, but if you tell Sheree anything, you just give it a minute. At the right point in time, Sheree is going to expose you. Who wants a friend like Sheree? Who wants a friend with the nickname the Bone Collector? I don't know. That's a tough one. Let me see what I saw. Tammy said something. Sheree had on jeans and a hoodie. Oh, I didn't see that. I thought she had something decent and fabulous, because Sheree is usually the one who's what's the word? Consistently underdressed. I didn't even notice that. But yeah. So So as I said, the funniest part to me and the girls talking and I guess everybody felt that. Sonya said if Ross ever lift his legs, it like tooted up for me to. I mean, and everybody bust out like because it was hilarious. Like you picture that like whoa, like your husband got his legs up in the air wanting you to do something with him. Yikes! So to each his own. We're gonna leave it right there. So the ladies, I guess the hotel isn't ready or something, so they gotta go take a dance class before a long trip. I don't know who want to take a dance class after been riding in the van for 4 hours, but you know, it, it's not only a dance class. I guess it's in honor of Kenya performing at the Magic Classic or whatever. But she's saying that the contest will not have her and Moneta, and they'll be judging. They'll be judging. We got to stop. Tina Bree said, "Wait, Kenya ate booty." She absolutely did. She absolutely admitted, but it was in her 20s. So Kenya's in her 50s. So I guess it's just okay. It's just okay. So we got to let Kenya do what she did. Martell was right. Them DMs be open. Like, let me stop. I do not condone or back up anything that Martell says. I hate Martell, if that's a thing. Let me stop. But anyway, I just had to read that comment because it was out there. So yeah, at this point, it looks like Kenya and Moneta are going separately to go rehearse like your big Magic Classic dance at halftime. But again, I never see them rehearsing. All I saw them go is take selfies. So pretty much the ladies waiting on them to judge the thing, and they wait on them. But the contest was forgettable. But Sheree actually won, and I was with Marlo when this. That's some bullshit because there's no way Sheree should have won. Marlo always wins the contest when she do the Meg the Stallion, the knees bounce twerk. You can't beat that. It's hard to beat. But oh well. I know why people don't like Marlo. Nobody sees it for Marlo. She's an infection. She's toxic. So the ladies are having dinner, and it seemed to go well until it didn't. And Courtney's baby daddy, Bryce, who's formerly known of the group Groove Theory, FaceTime her like, when you coming home? I don't know if it was a planned call or he missed her so much. They not together, but Courtney did say that she's in a complicated situation. So I'm assuming that's with her baby daddy. That's a complicated situation. Their child is about 24 years old. I don't know how long you struggle with that. Like, what are we doing? Put a ring on it, move forward, or what? How you complicate it with your baby daddy and you complicate with your baby daddy and you got a grown child. We should know by now, but okay, we're gonna keep going. But they made it a point to since Kenya mentioned, I don't know if this is true or not. Was Kenya playing coy? What do y'all think? Or she knew that Courtney's baby daddy was Bryce, who was a co-star of one of Kenya's independent B or C movies called Twa. Now, Twa had a few parts with, I think 2 parts. I actually like Twa, the first part. I like Kenya as an actress, and I thought that was a pretty decent B-C movie or whatever. But Kenya saw the guy and was like, oh, like, hi, or whatever. She was like surprised. And they was throwing shade because they know the dude Bryce, who was like, let's say the women was loving him, say he's a gorgeous man. He's all that. He looked like somebody granddaddy. Granted, it's 30 years later. Yeah, but it's like the guy don't look nothing like he used to look. So it's a real thing going on. And Kenya tried to not throw shade, but threw shade. She was like, he was a gorgeous man back then, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. In the 90s, 2000s, but not now. That's what she was saying. So it was a thing because I think that's what Courtney is also trying to plant her foundation on, that she's married to a celebrity, celebrity. Yeah. So, what am I about to say? I lost my place. Oh yeah, so they sitting at dinner, and it's a thing. It's a thing going on where Marlo she got to do back and forth about Kenya and all that kind of stuff. Now, granted, put it out there. I like to put because this is my channel, this is our channel, this is a safe space where we can discuss, we can offer our opinions and things like that. I haven't really been a Kenya fan. I'm good with Kenya when she's acting normal or she's not being nasty and rude or whatever. So I think Brooklyn kind of calmed her down a bit, but I never still really trust Kenya. She's cool. I think she's a solid housewife because to me, they're always trying to bring up like replacement people, like you're trying to replace Temptations. Like the new people are never quite a fit. Kenya is a solid housewife. We need her no matter what, no matter how you feel about her. But her and Marlo get into it, and Marlo's being very nasty, very rude at the table, telling Kenya, "Oh, who are you?" Because Kenya brought up that like you're talking on me. Who are you to be not be talking over? I'm like, did you hear what you just said? Everyone deserves respect. You shouldn't talk over people and then double down on saying that you're not a person enough to respect to not talk over. That was like some of the juvenile, ridiculous stuff I've ever heard in my whole life. But anyway, it just kind of dies down, and the ladies kind of ignore it or whatever the case may be, because they kind of bring up the fact that again, Kenya was being aggressive in the situation. And again, that's a trigger word for a lot of women. You can't bring up and say somebody's aggressive. People have their opinion. I think if you look like you're about to hit somebody, you yelling somebody, you get in somebody's face, that's aggressive to me, my definition, man or woman. And yeah, I mean, call a thing a thing. I don't want any friends or associates doing that to me. I don't want it at all. So it's an issue. It's really an issue. So because of the trip, we see a common factor. Most of the times, we're going to have a housewife who's not happy with their accommodations at all. Sheree is not happy because she won the twerking contest, and it was she thought it was supposed to be a suite, and it's not. And Marlo's disappointed in the accommodations. I cannot believe that. Granted, if you host a trip, that you foot the bill. Like I ordered 3 personal chefs. They laid out all these gifts and all that. I just don't believe that. Granted, Kenya doesn't have a good reputation of being a great host. I just don't believe that people are spending their own money to host people. Oh, we're flying on a private jet on me, or we're flying American Airlines first class on me, or I'm renting this charter bus for us. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. But that's my opinion. I don't know. Haven't seen the contracts, but they having a problem with their accommodations, and so the lady's supposed to be getting dressed for a charity event, according to Kenya, because I guess that's what you get for surprising people. You do need to tell people to be prepared for certain things because they need to be prepared for the right outfits, the right boxing gear, whatever they're going to do, or anything. And Moneta came down in like a little short romper or whatever, like a solid gold, but it was silver with the matching shoes. It looked like a little cute look for the club or whatever, but Kenya said it was inappropriate for a charity event. And Bravo was being shady. They showed Brooklyn. She was like laughing at her. And I thought that was funny because we know Brooklyn really wasn't laughing at Kenya checking Moneta for having an inappropriate outfit on. But I guess if Moneta wants to be more than a friend to the show, she better fall in line. So she ended up doing it. She changed her clothes, and Kenya left them, including Marlo and Sonia, because she had to be on time for this upscale event. And Moneta ended up meeting them there. I don't know how that happened, but when they get to the spot, it definitely wasn't no charity event. It looked like a happy hour meet and greet type situation because people was actually gawking at the housewives. Granted, we're in Alabama, we're in the country, and I mean that happened anyway. You see all the housewives come in the spot, you're going to want to take a picture. You're going to want to film them. You're going to want to hug them. I granted that this is a different time, but you can't be hugging people like that and invading their personal space. But yes, people are going to be starstruck. They're going to be starstruck, and that's the thing. So that's not unrealistic. I granted, just throwing a mini short story time back in 2019. For those who haven't heard me tell this little mini story, I saw Nene Leakes at the MGM Grand and at the National Harbor, and she was by herself, and she was like so stank dank dank to me. Like I wasn't really surprised. I just thought like, hey, I could have took a picture of you. I just want to get a quick picture of you. I like what you do and all that kind of stuff, entertainment. And you're like, oh no. See, if you do that, then you come over, and then other people gonna want to come over, and I'm just not doing that. When I'm not doing that right now, I'm like, little. I mean, I was mad. It just made me not like her even more because I really liked Nene when she came up through the series, but towards the end, not so much because she totally changed. She let that star status get to her head, and she's been humbled. But just the fact of the matter of, yes, I get it. You do got to kind of balance out that the people are still a person, but however, you kind of give up your privacy for the fame, if you will, if there's such a thing. It's got to be some boundaries in there. It got to be. But the fact of the matter is, like, you're nothing without the people. Remember that. You're nothing without the people. She could have took a quick picture of me for a second, in the same way that ladies could have did there. But however, they all caught off guard. They thought it was going to be some fancy, schwanky type of situation going on. And then it was just, like I said, happy hour at a bar. And it was just like, damn, like Moneta could have kept on what she had. I mean, every people had on jeans and t-shirts, and it wasn't nothing like they was talking about. I'm trying to figure out, like, where was Kenya's handler in this situation? Like, whoever was hosting her, who told her to come to this charity event and was like, oh, we have a VIP room for you and the girls, or this is going to be the setup. But it was more like they had to find their own tables, and Marlo wanted to make a scene and say, like, oh, since they left us, I want to make us interest, even though the girls was right 10 feet away from her or whatever. It was just like, it was like, yeah, like, what is this? I started questioning what does Kenya got going on? And I don't know what's going on. So eventually, because I guess they had a film crew in there, I didn't see it and a charity event going on, but they were asked to leave because they were causing too much of a distraction. And I'm like, wow. Wow. A place that you invited, a place y'all took time to come to support an event, you get kicked out of, and nobody comes to really explain it but your producer. That's absolutely unacceptable. That's when Kenya should have got stank and got upset and let the people know it was a problem, and it better not be like that going forward in the coming events that they came down in. So I think Kenya was really embarrassed about the disastrous night and really didn't explain. She's like, let's go back to the hotel and party or whatever. But she did what she do. She came back and went to bed and got ghost on the girls. So, they weren't happy, and they got to kind of get a conspiracy theory going or whatever about what Kenya's doing and what she's hiding. So it just went bad to worse. So the ladies decided to go up to Kenya's door or whatever and knock on the door. At first they were knocking, and then Psycho Marlo starts to kick on her door like a crazed woman. And to me, that would set anything off. I'm going to just tell you, coming from my life where I come from, I don't like a lot of noise. And I damn sure don't like nobody banging or kicking on my door. It reminds me of the police. So I will never welcome anybody banging on my door. You banging on my door, kicking on my door, it better be life or death. And even though that's when Kenya came, I looked like she was naked, came out to the shower and let her know what the hell is wrong with y'all, or banging on my door. And Marlo, and she let her know, like, hey, my kid is in here. That wasn't good enough for Marlo. She's still banging on the door, telling me, go put Brooklyn in another room. Now, granted, you can feel how you want to feel about Kenya should give her child to the nanny or whatever, but when somebody's with their child, you don't have a say-so of how they handling their child, even though while they're at work. So if her employees don't have a problem with it, you shouldn't either. And she definitely Marlo overstepped those boundaries. And Kenya's talking about if she gonna call the police. And I think, what choice did she have? She either had to say she gonna call the police or come out swinging. That was the issue. But again, let's go back to saying, I don't want to see Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. In my opinion, I don't want to see black women who's supposed to be successful millionaires living this life out in the street fighting and fussing, or telling me they got to headbutt somebody or got to get somebody to back off somebody. It shouldn't be like that. When you reach those upper echelons of life, those things should be non-existent. You shouldn't even involve yourself, even though we're on a reality show. You protect the money. Always protect the money. That's why I understand if Todd's in a room, regardless of the Kane's on the show, nobody should ever be even looking like they're threatening her or like it's getting ready to be something. Bottom line, show or not, that's the job of a husband before all the show stuff. But okay. So that's where it goes. It goes off to a cliffhanger. And yeah, it's the thing. I don't want to see this type of psychotic behavior. This is not normal behavior. And again, let's grant it. We talk about women approaching 50 years old who's already 50. I don't need to see that. I don't want to see that. We should be beyond that. Granted, most of these ladies aren't friends in real life. That's not entertaining to me. And all I'm saying, I'm not saying, oh, I want to stop watching the show. We're not there like Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm just saying I want to see better. We can get better. We deserve better. Yes, you can have drama. Yes, you can have not this kind of. This is on some stuff like you're dealing with a person that has mental issues in real life. I don't even want that person in my space. Marlo is just a walking contradiction. That used to be my girl. Not no more. This lady is psycho. And you got a friend like Marlo, even a family member, get away as fast as you can. So pretty much that was it, y'all. We got 2 reviews done. Shoot, we had like an hour and 47-minute mark. I feel like, shoot, I need a break. So I appreciate everybody coming out, supporting me. Like Shaq on Married at First Sight, I need your support. I don't want to be alone in this YouTube world. I need y'all here with me. Be with me. I don't ever want to be alone. And I thank y'all for all y'all support. So, yeah, always, even when you go back in the playback, get down in the comments. I be needing those comments. Like Shaq, Shaq needs you on the he needs you on the work trips. I need those comments. So I know what it needs. It's not a want, it's a need. I got that. So let me put this up there. This is a woman of her word. Let me put that up. Did I show that? Oh, I didn't show that. I didn't. Miss Bell, we got you. Yes, Miss Bell takes the assignment, exceeds the assignment. If anything, I appreciate everybody's support. Miss Bell is absolutely the #1 commenter on this chat. She keep it going. She take it to the next day. And I appreciate her so much. I wish I could send Miss Bell a cash app. She's absolutely amazing. But again, thank all of y'all for coming out. And I appreciate all of y'all all the time. And I'm not like Marcus or anything, or just sending y'all a line. As I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it. And I really mean it. Good night, everybody. Thank you again.